1 second.
And it's 9:59. So. Do you need help? For the internet, it's wash your hands all.
Yeah, that's the login. That's the access.
Maybe you clicked on the wrong one because you can. Yes.
There's 2 down Santa Barbara. I don't know. It's either Parker House,
Yeah, that's where I was.
and John Sanchez. There's 7. There's 7 in county. It's like math, so I think there's 8. I think there's 8 down Santa Barbara. There's Al, there's Paula. That's Paula. Maybe Randy in the
Good morning and welcome to the Santa Barbara County Association of Governments meeting for Thursday, November 16th, 2023. Madam Clerk, will you please call roll?
Thank you, Chair Osborne. For the roll call, Directors Williams, Capps, Hartman, Nelson, Lavanino.
Here.
Patino. Here. Rouse. Clark.
Here.
Perotti. Here. Infanti.
Here.
Julian.
Here.
Sanchez.
Here.
And Chair Osborne.
Here.
Okay.
Is the Marriott location?
He's not there.
Yeah, we can't
We can't
start without the Marriott location.
Okay. Let me see if I can. Spencer's phone number.
For the public, we have one remote location that has not logged in that is required to be logged in for us to move forward with the meeting. So we are waiting to see if they join us.
Wait, who's that? Is Das going to join the meeting? Because we can't start without him.
If somebody needs to log in at that location. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Terry, so somebody needs to log in.
Yeah, he's gonna go find him.
But it doesn't have to be DOS. So if Spencer could open up the,
I don't know where Spencer's at the Marriott. I think Spencer's at his office.
I sent him a Williams.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Okay, I would.
Was it Charlie Brown's teacher? We have her on the phone.
Do you want to roll call again and get this?
I think we should have each location declare where they are and they're open to the public.
So I would ask that each of the remote locations declare where they're at and that it is open to the public. We have already taken roll and Director Williams has joined us. So if Director Williams will state where he's at and that it's open to the public, and then Director Sanchez, and then is Robin Hill included in that remote location since it's listed? No. Okay. So just the two very distant locations.
This is John Sanchez, and I am in a location in Albufeira, Portugal.
This is Das Williams. I'm in the Oakland Marriott, and it is open to the public. There is a county conference here.
Thank you so very much. All right. Thank you for that. Now we will move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll rise and join me in that. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3 is general public comment. The public may address the Santa Barbara County Association of Governments on any subject within the jurisdiction of the board that is not included as part of this agenda. Comment shall be limited to no more than 15 minutes, divided among those desiring to speak, but no person shall speak longer than 3 minutes. Madam Clerk, do we have anybody online?
Chair Osborne, we have no request for public comment online.
Is there anyone in Goleta requesting public comment?
No, there's no members of the public requesting public comment here. Thanks.
And do either of the remote locations have anyone desiring public comment?
Santa Maria. Sorry. Santa Maria has no.
None that I can ask.
Oh, remote location, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm remote.
And I hear none from Director Sanchez, so any in Santa Maria?
Chair Osborne, there's no request for public comment.
Thank you for that. We will close public comment and move on to item number 4, approval of consent calendar. I do know we need to pull item 4G. Is there any other item that any member of the board would like to pull?
I'd like to pull A for abstention.
All right, item A will have Director Julian voting in abstention.
I'd like to pull 4D, please.
And was that Director Clark?
No, Sanchez.
Okay, Director Sanchez, thank you. And item 4D has been pulled. Any others? All right, we will start with 4G.
Madam Chair, members of the board, after your agenda was published, staff noticed several changes that needed to be made and corrections that needed to be made. We passed out a sheet of paper that includes 4 corrections on, basically we messed up on the public utility code numbers on 2 of them, and or actually 3 of them, and did not include FTIP as defined under the definitions under the acronym. So we wanted to correct those 4 things in your action. So if you could allow me to make those corrections after your, if you do approve it, after you approve it.
Any questions or discussion on 4G? Any public comment on 4G?
Chair Osborne, we have no request for public comment in Santa Maria or online.
Hearing no requests for public comment in the other locations or any discussion, I will entertain. Do you want to Yeah, just because it's got the changes, I'll entertain a motion on it. Director Patino.
I move that we accept 4G with the corrections.
I'll second that.
And Director Fonte seconds that. Roll call vote, please.
Director Williams?
Aye.
Capps? I'm going to skip them. Lavanino?
Aye.
Infante?
Aye.
Julian?
Aye.
Sanchez?
Aye.
Patino?
Aye.
Perotti?
Aye.
Clark?
Aye.
Rouse? Absent. And Chair Osborne.
Aye.
Motion passes 9-0.
And then we had a request to pull item 4D. Director Sanchez, please let us know what your questions are after it's read into record by the clerk.
Thank you, Chair Osborne. 4D, Memorandum of Understanding for Zero Emission Vehicle Infrastructure County of Santa Barbara Project. 4D1, approve and authorize the chair to execute a memorandum of understanding with the County of Santa Barbara for the Zero Emission Vehicle Infrastructure County of Santa Barbara Project in an amount not to exceed $385,000 for a period of performance beginning upon execution of the MOU through December 31st, 2027. And 4D2, approve and authorize the executive director to make immaterial amendments in accordance with the provisions set forth in the MOU.
Director Sanchez?
I just want to let that go to a vote, please.
Okay, so no questions. Director Lavanino?
I'll move 4D.
I'll second.
And Director Patino, second. Roll call vote, please.
Director Williams?
Public comment.
Aye.
Sorry, hold on. Did we have any public comment? Sorry, I forget that when we pull items, we also need a separate public comment. Any public comment on this item?
Chair Osborne, we have no request for public comment, here or online.
Anything in any other location?
Nope.
All right, hearing none, we will go to roll call vote. Thank you.
Director Williams?
Aye.
Lavanino?
Aye.
Infante?
Aye.
Julian?
Aye.
Sanchez?
No.
Patino?
Aye.
Parodi?
Aye.
Clark?
Sorry, it just was muted. Al Clark, can you do that one more again?
Aye.
Rouse? And Chair Osborne.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-1.
Given it was only an abstention from voting for A by Director Julian, I think the rest of the consent calendar can move forward. Is there any public comment on any of the rest of consent calendar?
Chair Osborne, we have no request for public comment, here or online.
Anything in any of the other locations for the rest of consent calendar?
Here, Osborne, there's no public comment here in Goleta.
Thank you. All right, hearing no other public comment requests, we will bring it back for a motion for the rest of the agenda without D or G.
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda as.
Thank you, Director Infante.
I'll second.
And Director Pontino seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Director Williams?
Aye.
Lavanino?
Aye.
Infante?
Aye.
Julian?
Aye.
Sanchez?
Aye.
Patino?
Aye.
Parodi?
Aye.
Clark?
Aye.
And Chair Osborne.
Aye.
Motion passes 9-0.
Thank you. We will move on to item 5A. Madam Clerk, please read that into the record.
5A, fiscal year 2024-25 overall work program. Provide input to staff on the work tasks to be included in SBCAG's fiscal year 24-25 overall work program.
Director?
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is our yearly kickoff of our next year's overall work program and budget. This is the time where we assess the work that we anticipate over the next fiscal year starting in July and identify how we're going to pay for that and how we're going to staff that and what any direct costs that we might have. So it's basically the beginning of the process. So to kick off that process, we like to work with our local jurisdictions to make sure that we're covering those items that we need to cover and propose any new work elements if possible. Over the next 2 years, we have a very full plate at SBCAG. We will be updating our regional transportation plan and implementing a study for Highway 166. In addition to that, we are also going to be applying for our final grant award for the SB1. Hopefully, it's the final grant, the award for SB1 for the Highway 101 project. And then we're also implementing several project development projects via Fred with the Black Road project. Hopefully will be done before the next fiscal year starts, and other projects that are on the works, including broadband. So overall, I want to raise this to your attention that we do have a full plate, but this is also an opportunity to think about what you might want to do a year or two from now so we can apply for funding to make those things happen. So for example, when I presented this a couple of years ago, the 166 study came up and that's when we applied for the grant. So 2 years later, now we're working on that. So this is just basically an opportunity to get in the queue of studies, corridor studies, or work that you think is necessary, and we can investigate opportunities to fund those efforts. Another example was the ADU study that we are doing this year as well, just to give you some ideas of what work SBCAG can pursue funding for and make happen in the next couple of years. And with that, I will end my report and turn it back over to the chair.
Thank you. Any questions, input from any of the board of directors? Hearing none, any public comment on this item?
Chair Osborne, we have no request for public comment in Santa Maria or online.
In any other
Chair
locations?
Chair Osborne, we do not have any public comment in Goleta.
Thank you. All right, I'll bring it back to the board for a motion.
There's no motion necessary.
There's no motion.
This
You're right. It's
provides-
just information, so receive and input.
Yeah, so if anybody has anything in the future, you can just give me a call or an email and we can discuss it.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you so very much. All right, item 5B, please read into record.
Thank you. Item 5B, Measure A North County Safe Routes to School Program Cycle 4 Call for Projects. Approve the Measure A North County Safe Routes to School Program Cycle 4 guidelines and application and announce a call for projects.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Osborne and Directors. Nice to see you all. Sarkis Kachak, Director of Programming at SBCAG. We do have a brief presentation for you today. Thank you, Terry. So I'm going to skip along. Thank you. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so we have good news today. We have an opportunity for local partners and stakeholders in North County to apply for funding from the Measure A North County Safe Routes to School and Bicycle Pedestrian Program. This is a program that helps local agencies deliver on some critical projects. And those projects are aimed to increase walking and bicycling as well as safety for our residents in North County, is also to improve safe routes to school. It's also a good opportunity for us to potentially leverage outside funding through the state or federal government. Next slide, please. Oh, sorry. Thank you. It's okay. So some background, eligibility includes all of the North County cities as well as the County of Santa Barbara. And while they are the lead agency for submitting applications, our school districts as well as other stakeholders are also eligible to co-apply with them if they have a project in mind, and then work with the city or the county to submit the application. We have very broad eligibility for this program, so this includes planning, project development, construction, or capital projects, education. One new item for this year with the construction component is that you're eligible to apply for outreach to help with informing the public of the project as well. Next slide, please. We mentioned outside funding. There's going to be an upcoming opportunity from the state government called the Active Transportation Program. And what basically, it's similar eligibility. So what our local partners can do, and we've done in the past, is if awarded any funding from the Measure A program, then taking that money and leveraging that for state funding. So an example would be City of Guadalupe did that for State Route 1 crossing. City of Buellton did that as well. And so there's actually going to be an opportunity coming up in the spring when the California Transportation Commission approves the guidelines and conducts a call for projects. Those applications will be due to the state in June. Your board will be adopting the projects a couple months before then. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. For Cycle 4 of the Measure A program, there's approximately $665,000 available over 4 years, and so that'll start with fiscal year 24-25. We did work with the Guidelines Committee, which included representatives from the North County agencies and other stakeholder groups, and we presented an update to the North County Subregional recently. And so with your board approving the guidelines today, there'll be a call for projects, and so we'll share that information and post the application online. And then the active transportation program will be coming on shortly afterwards. Next slide, please. This is the schedule that was in the staff report. So we'll share the call for projects today. What happens is any project agency that would like to submit a project needs to submit a pre-application to us by December 15th. And then what we do is we take all the pre-applications and we'll provide the North County Subregional with a summary of all the projects submitted. So it gives the board an idea of what's been submitted, and it also gives the project sponsors an idea of what the need is. And in case they don't want to submit all the projects, they don't need to, but at least they have something in the queue. And then full applications will be due to us February 16th, and then we'll convene the scoring committee to review applications, and then come back to your North County Subregional Committee and the board in April. And then we'll have approval on April 18th, and then if anyone would like to apply for the state program, they'll have that opportunity right afterwards. Next slide, please. So that concludes staff's presentation. We'd be happy to take any questions at this time.
Any questions from the board here in Santa Maria? Any questions from Goleta?
No questions from Goleta.
Any questions from either of our remote locations?
No, thank you.
Any public comment on this item?
Chair Osborne, we have no requests for public comment in Santa Maria or online.
Chair Osborne, there's no public comment in Goleta.
Hearing none from any of the other locations, we will close public comment and bring it back to the board. Director Lavanino.
Well, if I don't see anything else, I'm ready to make a motion. If
Please
we're good.
do.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve Measure A, North County Safe Routes to School Program Cycle 4 Guidelines in the application and announce a call for projects.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Patino seconds. Roll call vote, please.
Director Williams?
Aye.
Lavanino?
Aye.
Infante?
Aye.
Julian?
Aye.
Sanchez?
Aye.
Patino?
Aye.
Perotti?
Aye.
Clark?
Aye.
And Chair Osborne.
Aye.
Motion passes 9-0.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item number 6, 1-minute reports. Is there anyone in Goleta that has a 1-minute report?
1 minute. No, there's nobody in Goleta who has a 1-minute report. Thank you.
Is there anyone on a remote location that has a 1-minute report?
No report here, thank you.
All right, bringing it back to Santa Maria, is there anyone here that has a 1-minute report? Director Julian.
Yes, just I wanted to thank the county for doing what they did for the Santa Maria River project. It's quite an awesome project. And in addition to that, on the Pasadena side, which is Highway 166 and Highway 1, the new Pasadena actually brought in their bridge construction to put in a bridge across Santa Maria Valley Railroad, which then ties into what we've been doing with the road improvements along 166. So thank everyone for making that happen.
All right. Director Infante.
Quick note, the Allen Hancock College has proposed to have a bachelor's degree program in their school. And they are searching for authorization to do that. At the Solvang City Council, we put out a proclamation saying we would support them, and I'd like to ask others to support that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. The city of Lompoc did the same and submitted the letter with my signature on it, so that would be a huge benefit to the region. I want to thank Caltrans for returning the Robinson Bridge to the list so that we can maintain updates with the public. There had been some concern that it had dropped off your attention. I know that's not true, but thank you for returning that to the list, and again for completing the paving and now all the striping on Ocean coming through town. It looks fabulous, although some are treating it as a new paved raceway, so we'll deal with that internally. Director Patino.
Yes, we have been resurfacing our streets in Santa Maria We want to get it done before the rain starts again. So we probably have done about 6 lane miles so far, but we've been getting on it, and it's been going really fast. People complain about the potholes, and we know what it did to our streets in the last rains we had. So we are going to be doing probably 4 years' work in 3 or 4 years' work in probably a year and a half time. So it's getting there. Of course, when you repair those roads, people go faster. So potholes are sort of a traffic calming, but people don't like them.
Unfortunately, by default, yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly. All right, thank you, directors, for those reports. Executive Director, it's your turn. Item number 7.
Thank you so much. I wanted to let the board know that the state has recommended $11.5 million in funding for Phase 2 of the Santa Claus Lane Streetscape project. This is out of their Interregional Improvement Program funds, so this does not count against SBCAG in our regional funding process that we normally go through every 2 years. On this agenda, you approved our recommendations for our share of the money, but this is coming out of a different pot, the 25% that goes to the state. So this $11.5 million was coordinated between Caltrans District 5, SBCAG, will fully fund the transportation components in Phase 2 of the project. So that's the landscaping and the bike path along Santa Claus Lane, which we just opened the other side of it last week. The county would construct the pedestrian bike lane and coastal improvements along Santa Claus Lane, including the at-grade railroad crossing at Santa Claus Lane Beach, and improve access parking, enhance the safety features, drainage, lighting, and stormwater and coastal resiliency improvements. So this board approved funding for Phase 1, which is expected to begin this year. So this will fully fund that project, except for the bathrooms. I don't know if you remember, the bathrooms are not a transportation-related component, and we're not funded through this program. So we're almost there, and the bathrooms will have to wait for another day. But I just wanted to share that's an awesome recommendation. I attended the hearing that the state conducted a couple of weeks ago to advocate for this project. So it's just has to go to the final approval of the California Transportation Commission, and then that phase of the project can move forward. I also want to let the board know that Director Williams and I were invited to attend a briefing and a tour with Senator Blakespear on this past Tuesday to discuss coastal resiliency in regards to the rail with the Union Pacific Railroad. Senator Lamone, Assemblymember Hart, and Losan staff were there as well. And Alex Davis, the consultant to Senator Blakespear, also helped fulfill the morning of the tour. So it was a great event identifying the weaknesses along the rail corridor from Santa Barbara north up to Gaviota. I also want to thank the board members that attended our Santa Claus Bike Lane project. Director Williams and Director Clark was there. We had a very well-attended event. We had bicycle riders from Ventura, Ojai, Carpinteria, Santa Barbara, all converge at the location of the Santa Claus Lane bike path. I think we had about 100 bike riders converge at that location to celebrate the opening. It was, and we had students and residents from around the area and businesses, and it was a well-attended event and a lot of fun to celebrate that new bike path between Carpinteria and Santa Claus Lane. I do want to announce the CTC is also having an active transportation program workshop here in Santa Barbara County on December 12th. SBCAG will be hosting this California Transportation Commission at the Active Transportation Program. I think I said alternative transportation, but it's Active Transportation Program in the San Ynez Valley at the Chumash Tribal Hall. The workshop will be held in person and by Zoom, so this is open to the public. Anybody can attend. We're also coordinating project tours in the North County. So we'll be doing the San Ynez Trail and the Santa Maria Leve Trail over 2 days, the 13th and 14th. So this is a great opportunity to get specific attention from the California Transportation Commission of our upcoming ATP projects. So get them aware of what we're proposing to apply for. And last but not least, we were awarded $1.37 million in low carbon transit operation funding, LC-TOP is what we call it here. So we received that funding to reduce greenhouse gases and whatnot, part of the California Climate Investments The funding supports projects approved by the SBCAG board back in April 2023 that we submitted for state approval. Includes Santa Barbara MTD's purchase of an electric bus and charger for its fleet, City Guadalupe for a transit electrification project to convert a gas vehicle to a battery electric one. And the board further approved a free and reduced transit fare program to encourage transit use in the North County. So we're working on coordinating that promotion where all North County transits will be promoting their use of their local transportation systems, including Clean Air Express, Colt, Guadalupe, SMART, and the San Ynez Valley Transit. So this program allocates billions of dollars from the cap and trade program to reduce greenhouse gases and strengthen the economy and improve public health and the environment. And we're happy that this investment is being made in Santa Barbara County. So with that, I'll pass it back over to the chair. Since we had time, I took the time. So thank you.
Oh, no. Great update. Any questions for our director? All right, thank you for that hard work. We will move on to item number 8 and have the Caltrans District Director's Report, and Joe Irwin is here to provide that.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Joe Irwin. I'm Office Chief in Project Management for District 5 here for Scott Eads. First, I wanted to announce that there's going to be a public engagement meeting for 154 and Fox and Canyon. This is an important thing to note. This is done in partnership with Supervisor Hartman's office, so I want to give appreciation to her and her office as well. But that public engagement meeting for Fox and Canyon and 154, that's going to be on December 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. at St. Mark's in the Valley Episcopal Church in Los Olivos. And this is an opportunity for the public to come and share their input or their potential solutions at this location. So Caltrans is looking at identifying safety improvements at that location or safety enhancements. And the way that this started was through our 154 safety committee. There was a public comment during that. And so it goes to show that, we are listening to public comment. When you come and engage and let us know of an issue, then, we will take action and we will move forward to see what can be done, right? And so just kind of reiterating and encouraging the public's engagement and commenting on issues that they see on the state highway system. Next, wanted to echo the Executive Director Kern's comments on Santa Claus Lane. It was a great event. Caltrans was happy to be a partner on this with SBCAG and construct that project with our contractor, Granite Construction. I know that this has been a long desired project. People used to ride their bikes or walk along the railroad ties from Carpinteria to Santa Claus Lane. So this has been a long needed solution, and I'm happy that Caltrans was able to be a part of a successful project like that. And it's been highlighted a number of times by Caltrans as a successful non-highway kind of improvement that local communities all throughout our district and all throughout the state are desiring. So it's a good project, and I think Southern Santa Barbara County should be proud of it. And we look to replicate that kind of effort in other locations too. Next, I'd like to talk about a little bit of construction that we have going on right now. I'm sure if you've driven down through Goleta, you've seen the lane switches we have there at San Jose Creek Bridge. Encourage everybody to please slow down for that construction. There's lane narrowing, and then there's obviously some shifting of the lanes to get around there. As we're taking down the existing bridges and reconstructing them. There's also work going on at 217, same creek, just different highway that's going on right now. And that has, both of these will have closures of ramps, different durations of on-ramp closures, but encourage the public to please be aware that there will be detours for local roads as we have to close on and off ramps to get this construction done. And so please be aware of those closures. We'll have informational signs out prior to them, and so don't ignore them. Look at those and obviously be aware of changing conditions. So go slow is my recommendation through there. And obviously rain will affect what we can do during construction too. So these are all subject to change as rain events happen. Another upcoming project that you should be seeing in the early part of next year is the Refugio Bridge near the state park there on 101. So in between Gaviota and Goleta, we're going to be replacing that bridge, or both bridges in the north and southbound direction. So please be aware of that project, that's going to be coming online soon. But that project was recently allocated about $49 million in IIJA money, and then another 1.2 in SB1 dollars to complete that project. But be aware that one is going to be coming online and going into construction. We have it scheduled in March, but look for it in the springtime of next year, 2024. Finally, my last item that I want to note is that the city of Lompoc was awarded a $500,000 planning grant. This is a roadway safety planning grant that's going to help them with their comprehensive safety action plan. And that action plan will evaluate safety for all modes of transportation citywide, but with an emphasis on the major corridors of State Route 1 and 246. So we want to congratulate the city on receiving that $500,000 grant. And that's all I have. And if there's any questions for me, I'd be willing to take them at this time. Thank you.
See, I didn't steal your thunder. Any questions, Director Infante?
Excuse me, back to your comment about the 154 and Fox and Canyon meeting that's going to happen. When is that going to be published or identified to everybody, and who's going to be there? I was at the last meeting. It was held, I believe, at the Vets Hall in Solvang. And there was a whole bunch of, including myself, up on the stage listening to the city. It's a very, I drove through that this morning to get here, and I'll drive through it on the way home tonight or this afternoon. It is a very interesting thing, and I'm curious, and I want to be able to announce this at city council meetings that this is going to be there, and I want so people can come. So I want to know a little bit more about it, if you would, please.
Sure. We're going to be putting out a flyer advertisement to the community. That's going to be coming out. And then there's also going to be a survey opportunity for those that can't make the public meeting. That, again, it's going to be on December 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. at St. Mark's in the Valley in Los Olivos. But there will be an online survey that folks that can't make that specific meeting would be able to attend or would be able to put in their comments. But we hope that all of the representatives here today, so yourself, Director Infante, would be able to attend that in-person meeting too. But there will be a flyer announcing it that's going to be sent out here very soon.
We'll make sure that that gets to the directors as well, so you can forward that to your constituents.
Thank you. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, thank you.
Both. Can you tell me who's going to be in that meeting as far as the representatives there? I mean, if the board's here, that's fine, but who else is going to be there?
So I'm looking through my notes, and I think we will have traffic engineers from Caltrans that will be there, and then planning representatives as well. And they're going to be sharing, so engineers and planners from Caltrans. And then they're going to be sharing a presentation that'll outline kind of the overview of how we preliminarily evaluate these kinds of intersections, and then what we've done in the past, and then the process moving forward for analyzing the intersection. So it'll kind of be an education in how this process will unfold, and then talk about what our next steps are and potential solutions at that meeting. But we'll have traffic engineers there and planners from Caltrans.
So you're not looking necessarily for issues there. You already know those. This is what we're going to do to go forward.
Well, we're encouraging folks to keep bringing these issues to our attention, right? But yeah.
What about Highway Patrol? Are they going to have anybody from Highway Patrol there?
I'll have to get back to you on that, whether or not CHP was planning on attending, but I can get that back to you.
I think they should be there as well. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Any questions from, yes, all right. I see a head yes, please.
Go ahead, Santa Barbara.
All right, Director Prodi, you had a question?
Yes, I have a question. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. As Caltrans most likely knows, the city of Toledo's received a few calls on the noise based on the construction of the bridge, especially the start time of 5 a.m. So we have a noise ordinance that starts at 7, but we realize that Caltrans starts earlier, so our noise ordinance doesn't apply. And so I called back the community that have voice concerns and let them know that, you know, you're doing the best you can to get this project done. It won't be forever. And they seem pretty understanding. So I just kind of wanted to let Caltrans know that we have reached back to them, and they know that Caltrans, it's legal for Caltrans to start at 5 a.m. But it's the what did they call it? The pile driving, that, you know, that pounding that is a jolt to them first thing in the morning. So thank you for that.
Thank you for
That's all I
reaching.
have.
Yep. Thank you. This is Joe Irwin again with Caltrans. Thank you for reaching out to them and letting them know. But yeah, it will be temporary. It's not going to be. This is not permanent. So construction is temporary. Thank you.
Anybody else? And just so Director Perotti knows, while they were doing all the construction work in Lompoc, it was overnight, and we got several calls about grinding and loud noises, and I kept reassuring people that it was all for the good and short term, and now it is very quiet. So it does eventually end, and with benefits. It's really hard to explain to people, you wanted this done, but we got to kind of deal with what goes with it. So I feel your pain.
Chair Osborne, Director Sanchez has a question.
All right, Director Sanchez?
Yes, for Joe Irwin. There's a piece of road between the bridge at Refugio and the southbound off-ramp. It runs adjacent to the Refugio Beach entrance, and there's like hoop-de-doos in it there, and I didn't know if that was a county road or a Caltrans road.
I'll probably need a little bit more information to identify it, but I know typically once we get past the off and on ramps, it cuts off. It then becomes a local road at that point. And so without having specifics, I can't say if it's a county road or not. But generally the Caltrans jurisdiction stops at the ends of the on and off ramps. So I can look into it more though, or I can, if you want to give me more specific information, then I can turn that back around to our traffic operations group.
Yeah, it's just a little piece of road between the bridge and the southbound off-ramp. It kind of runs adjacent to the kiosk there. And it's just a funny bumpy road, and I didn't know who was in charge of it, but it's just something I observed. Thank you.
All right, if there are no further questions for,
I just really had a funny comment to make, because I live about a half a block where this road work is going on. I've been gone for 2 days, and they started probably the day I left, and I heard all this commotion this morning and woke me up, but I have no one to call. So.
Right, except yourself, right? So you're looking in the mirror saying, what am I going to do about this noise? All right. Thank you Thank you so very much for all of those updates and questions. Given Director Nelson is not online, we will skip the Calvans board meeting report, and I don't see Director Williams having a LoSAN report. I believe our executive director updated us on what that was. And so we will adjourn until the next meeting on December 14th of 2023. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.